Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about cancel culture. According to the Hollywood Reporter, the secret to rating success is that Trump is trying to cancel you.
No, it's called the secret to rating success is cancellation in general. You're just doing it now because you're trying to say because of Trump that all is happening. Colbert's canceled because CBS and his ratings were shit and they weren't losing money. South Park's, they're always trying to cancel South Park. That's not just a Trump thing. No. And then Kimmel, we all know what happened there. But they've been having cancellations for years. And every time they try this, the Streisand Effect hits and they end up being huge. And it has nothing to do with just Trump.
Yeah, I think people like forbidden media, right? They like
forbidden fruit is the tastiest.
Forbidden fruit. They want to taste the forbidden fruit. Well, we'll cite some other examples outside of it, but anytime there's controversy around a movie or a TV show or something, a lot of times it actually, again, brings attention to it. So you get people that normally wouldn't have bothered watching it. I think that's kind of what happened with Velma. They were trying to say, the Velma cartoon series, for those of you who don't remember because it came and went like a fart in the wind, the Mindy Kaling reboot. Mm-hmm. It was such a disaster, but people tuned in to check it out. And then HBO's like, we had record ratings.
I know, because they're like, how it can't be that bad. Oh my God, did you hear what they did?
It's
and then
worse.
To look.
It's worse than you thought it would be. So we'll talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You'll get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo.
Go out to news.clownfishtv.com and sign up for notifications when we post new videos. We also have paywall content. We're working on more. Getting there, guys. Thank you very much. News.clownfishtv.com. So this is coming from the Hollywood Reporter, and they're saying that the secret to TV ratings is Trump trying to cancel you, but we have a lot of other examples of just cancellation attempts that backfired, including Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah.
It became the highest selling game of 2023, and the entire video game media cabal tried to cancel this game so hard. They tried so hard to cancel this game, and it actually wound up selling a ridiculous number of copies. And I think you could argue all the controversy around JK Rowling, I think it's actually reigniting people's interest in Harry Potter.
I think that, it was never going to go away because a lot of people aren't even aware of the situation. But yeah, you keep telling people that you can't buy Harry Potter because these people don't like it. They're going to go buy extra copies. That's what they do with Hogwarts Legacy. People are like, I'm buying 3 copies. I don't need 3 copies, but I'm buying 3 copies just to tell you to, step off. Yeah.
And that's it, right? So a lot of times this media becomes like a political hockey puck. People that normally, wouldn't watch, in the case of, Jimmy Kimmel or whatever, they normally wouldn't even bother watching Jimmy Kimmel, but they're going to tune in, at least for the monologue, to stick it to the Republicans or whatever,
No one's watching Jimmy Kimmel. That's why his ratings were shit. And the same with Colbert. No one was watching. No one cared. They're only watching now because, he is getting canceled. And they're watching now just to see what shit they throw, after the fact. But they weren't being watched before. If people were really interested in them and thought they were funny and loved the show, they never would have been in danger of being canceled in the first place.
Well, I think, again, with JK Rowling, like, you look at the last couple Fantastic Beasts movies, and they did not do well at all.
Nope.
And then once, all this controversy with her started, it seemed like the book sales actually increased. Seems like there are more brand deals now. She's got more brand deals now than she's ever had. Regardless of how you feel about it, I think all the controversy and all the attempts to cancel her has actually bolstered support for her and for Harry Potter. Same with Dave Chappelle. Like, Dave Chappelle, he's always been funny, but he just kind of would blend in with all the other comedians or whatever. But because they tried so hard to cancel him for trans jokes or whatever, and that it actually sent his ratings through the roof, and he got another deal at Netflix.
Yeah, he's like, this is what being canceled like. This is great. By the way, you can cancel Clownfish TV so we can get more views. Thank you.
He actually famously said, he's like, hey, man, this is what cancel's being like. I love it, or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he's making more money.
Yeah, because they were trying, like, he was there for some scholarship that was named after him, I think, at a school, and he went to school there, and they were like trying to boycott him and everything else. And it's like, you know what, you guys can do these little pissant things and it's not going to make a difference. Overall, the trend's going to go that way because everybody's going to tune in to see what the fuss is about. And that's just the way it is. That's why they always joke about the Streisand Effect, because it's going to happen. So, I don't like, Jimmy Kimmel that much. I don't like Stephen Colbert that much. But I mean, you'd be dumb to say that they weren't going to have a huge rating spike initially.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because people are going to, they're going to tune in just to see what Jimmy Kimmel says. If he apologized or not, they're going to tune in just to support him, even if they haven't watched him in 10 years because they don't like Trump, But they actually bring up the Streisand Effect. They said it's no surprise that Trump's efforts to silence South Park, The Late Show, and Jimmy Kimmel Live have resulted in all three shows surging in the ratings and, in a couple cases, to their biggest numbers in decades.
But I mean, again, to be fair, they've been trying. I mean, how many times people tried to cancel South Park at this point in time?
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's more years they didn't have a cancellation attempt than there were that they've had them.
Yeah, that's
there's
just
fewer years. How do I say it? There's less times they haven't been tried to be canceled than there have they've tried. It's just they're always being canceled.
And it's always like one side of the aisle or another. Like basically, I mean, the thing that's weird about South Park, right, is that it's funny or not funny depending on who you ask. So they were all ass mad on the left about South Park making fun of Kathleen Kennedy and Disney Star Wars. And they were like, it's the right-wing chuds and the panderverse. And oh my God, they're pandering to the right wing. And then they flipped the script and now they're going after right-wingers almost exclusively now.
Because, for people who joke about the panderverse, now, basically whatever party's in charge, they go the other way.
Yeah, pretty much. That's kind of how, I mean, it wasn't quite that way back when they started, but it does seem like lately they're pretty much just roasting. Outrage pays. I think they know that. I think a lot of these guys know that. Now, the real proof is going to be, you get the attention. Can you keep the attention? This happens anytime somebody gets canceled, even like online personalities. There are people that like their whole thing is, oh my God, somebody tried to cancel me. So now I like blew up almost overnight and all these people are supporting me, but then they do something stupid and they piss away all that support and they piss off the people that were supporting them. And then they just kind of, fade away. And I don't know what's going to happen with Jimmy Kimmel, if his ratings are going to go back to normal, or if he's still,
for him, yeah.
I think he's still going to get gone. I think after his contract is up next year, I think either Disney will drop him or he'll decide to just walk away and go do a podcast or something.
Unless his numbers pick up and they stay up, I don't think he's going to be.
No.
Disney's afraid to get rid of him for fear they're going to blame him for this. They're going to be like, you got rid of Kimmel because of what he said. It's like they were looking for a reason. That's why they jumped on it. They were looking for a reason, in my opinion.
Yeah, this is one thing that we've noticed too, and this comes from working in around businesses, and sometimes they use one circumstance to justify getting rid of people that really doesn't have anything to do with what seems to be going on. It's kind of like documenting things that your employees do wrong. So when you have to lay people off, you can point to it and be like, oh yeah, they did that wrong. That's why you lay them off. In this case, yeah, Jimmy Kimmel, I'm sure, cost them a lot of money. They're looking at Colbert, and they're probably like, yeah, that was smart of Paramount to cancel a show that's losing, $40, $50 million a year, whatever the number is. We'd love to get rid of Jimmy Kimmel. And, now we can get out of it sooner.
Well, it sucks for Colbert because all the people that were standing with him and like being like, oh, you can't cancel him. You can't cancel him. All like left like, as fast as possible when Jimmy Kimmel, they need to go white knight for him. So whatever the next, thing they have to white knight for, they're just going to drop Kimmel like a bad habit and go after that. Cause there's no real loyalty. It's just that whatever shiny thing that they can protest, they look like they're getting like high fives and, points for protesting it, they're going to go do it. It's not even about like, cause you really believe it. It's just about, this is the big controversy right now that I can go, stick it to Trump and get high fives over. Because, no one's bringing Colbert back. I mean, he's still on the air for a while, but they're not renewing his contract. I just think it's funny because at the end of the day, I'm sure it's true. Trump trying to cancel them is probably bringing higher ratings. The thing is with Kimmel, it wasn't Trump trying to cancel him because they keep saying that the FCC called, Nexstar and Sinclair. And both Nexstar and Sinclair are like, no, they didn't. Even Nexstar put a statement out when they put him back on the air yesterday, and they even said, no government agency or individual told us to do it. And they keep telling people that. It doesn't matter how many times they say it. The media keeps running with the narrative they have decided. But it's just cancellation in general. When you try to go out of your way to cancel something like Hogwarts Legacy, it ends up blowing up. It's normal. This is like predictable behavior.
Yep. So maybe the best thing to be is canceled, right?
I know, right? Because you're never really canceled. I mean, as long as you're a big enough, franchise or person that people care about.
No, I would just keep thinking Luke Skywalker. No one's ever really canceled.
Yeah, no one's really canceled. That's right.
We're going to wrap it up.
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.
For more pop culture news, views, and rants, go to news.clownfishtv.com. That's news.clownfishtv.com.